Hey everybody, it's Squeaker with HCG coming to you on Monday morning. Turn this off. It is 9:15. I am about to go take Mr. Dexter, my little Yorkie, to get his haircut. He gets so upset with me if I brush him or bathe him or anything like that. He hides from me. And he comes to Brent, but he won't come to me because I'm just like the mean mama. And he goes under the bed and he hides all the time because if I mess with him. So he looks like a little shaggy dog because he will not let me. I mean, I can brush him, but he doesn't. It's not that he doesn't let me. I just choose not to make him upset with me because I like for him to come to me. So I watched a couple of vlogs this morning. I watched the chickadee, can't remember exactly, Cascades Lover. And I'm going to tell you, it's to watch the emotions that people go through doing the protocol is absolutely, if you don't have to go through the emotions, if you're not emotionally tied to food, that is the most awesome thing. But when you are, that is so hard. Sweet Fatigue talks about fat girl, and we all have the fat girl. I mean, we do. We all have her that's always lurking around, and it's like, oh, come on, we're lonely, we need this, I need this, come on, just one, it's okay. And Amber said something about like having a heroin addiction. I mean, seriously, I mean, you would not think that you can be so addicted to overindulging and purging and overindulging and taking laxatives. And I mean, I've done it. Taking water pills, anything to make the scale number happy. It's crazy. So I try really hard, can we use HCG for that? Of course we can, but trying to overcome, that's me. I want to overcome my addictions, my dependency on happiness, sadness, anything that I need to overcome. I can use food for that. And like Amber, I was just thinking, I mean, I've done forever. I'm 50 years old, and it's like, did it forever. So, I want to tell people that there is hope. I'm not talking about just HCG, but just trying to come over that. And whenever I talk about the HCG, because for me, it takes all of the dependency away, because you can't, if you're going to do it strictly the way you're supposed to and all that, it takes all of that. I need something to eat. I need something. So I was thinking about, while I was watching some vlogs earlier, this little story. And I might have shared it before. It might be in vlog number 7. I'm kidding. I don't know. But my mom and my dad used to always cry when they would watch commercials. Let me back up and say, my mom and my stepdad, my mother was a huge drug addict for 13 years. She was a huge drug addict. She did everything. She did heroin, she did coke, she did everything. And she was a huge drug dealer. And she started her addiction with diet pills. So she would get diet pills, and then she thought, oh, I can make a little bit of money. I can sell them to my friends. Then I can buy more. And so that's how she started. And then, I mean, she got really, really deep in her dealing and doing the drugs. So, and my dad was in Vietnam. He was an alcoholic, a drug addict, and all of that. So whenever they got together, it was a big mess. So they were both very, very, very hard-hearted. And whenever the change came in their life, and for them, it was the Lord coming into their lives, and I mean, changed everything in their hearts, changed their lives. And so one day they're driving down the road, and there is a, let me back up and say this. Okay, they used to watch commercials, and I mean, my mother would never cry. My stepdad would never cry, and they would watch commercials, those Pepsi commercials and Coke commercials, and they would sit there and cry and cry and cry over commercials. And Mom would look at my stepdad, and it was like, what are you crying about? So they were just back at each other. You stop crying. What are you crying about? So they're going down the road one day, and up in the distance, they could see a truck, and it was, the dog catcher, whatever you call it. I can't even think. And back then, now they have the little crates for them, but back then it was just an open cage, and these two black dogs were jumping everywhere. I mean, they were jumping all over the place, and they were panting, and they were crying. Mom started telling my dad, look at those two poor black dogs up there. I bet just like our little dogs, they're missing their people. And, all we need to do is just, when we drive up next to them, we can just open the cage and let them go and let them run free, and they can go back to their people, and their people probably miss them. And I mean, my mom and dad were just bawling. And they wanted to, set them free, let them go. And I mean, they rode down the road for a long time talking about how horrible this was. And so they get almost even with them, and there's the light changes. So the light changed, and my parents pulled up next to this truck. And the dogs were not jumping around anymore. They had laid down. So the truck takes off again, and the dogs jump up, and they're going all over the truck. And my mother's like, "What is that?" And it was not two black dogs that they had been crying over, and just, their hearts were bleeding over these two dogs. It was two trash bags blowing around in the back of the truck. So the reason I tell you this is because sometimes all of the emotions of life, sometimes they're real and sometimes they're not. But we make a big, huge ordeal out of trash bags. So the challenge today is, don't make a trash bag story. Just, whenever we feel all the emotions, I've got to have, I need this, or whenever we're having just a bad day, just to remember, that sometimes things are not as they seem. Sometimes it's not what you think. And we get all of our emotions all wound up into it, and it's not real. So today, I challenge you, I challenge myself to have a wonderful day and know that sometimes things are not as they seem. So anyway, okay, I am on day 7 of P3. Stepped on the scale this morning. I was about 1.5 pounds below my LIW, no longer 3 pounds below, but 1.5 pounds below. So I was happy with that. I think I'm on day 7. I had to look because at my last vlog, the one before yesterday's, and it had been a week, and I was on day 36. So I think I stopped on a Friday, maybe Saturday. So I'm just figuring about the 11th. I think that's what I figured I'll be on NP4. So, and then I don't know. I kind of want to be like Donna, where, I want to be those people, and Chica, and I want to be those people that, put the HCG down and don't mess with it anymore. But, I just think, what I like about it? I like the fact of being able to stop the insanity of adding a little bit. And I really like going on around and getting clean. I love that feeling of being clean, and that's what I love. I try to stay clean all the time, but you know how that goes. I mean, I haven't added sugar. The only time I've eaten anything like Cheetos or the bad stuff is whenever I load, but I don't eat sugar because No, 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 no. Someday maybe I can. I'm hoping someday I can, but right now, no. Anyway, I have my iced coffee, and I have in it, you have to try this sometime. I want to open a coffee store. Not really, but I would have coffees like, this would be a peanut butter cup, and it is iced coffee with sugar-free peanut butter syrup. It's just, the coffee flavors. What is it? I'm trying to think of the name, and I can't think of it. And sugar-free chocolate. And then there's German chocolate. You can do coconut chocolate and a little almond and make a almond joy coffee. I think I have this whole list of all these candy coffees, and I thought, wouldn't that be funny to name your business Candy Coffee? Because that's how I like my coffee, is to taste like candy. So I talked for 11 minutes about absolutely nothing, but I love, love, love you girls, and I'll talk to you later. Have a wonderful day. Bye.